I'm for the bidet. I think if we put a bidet in every American household, we can end homophobia by 2026.
Chris Riggins' career as a comedian started more than a decade ago with a dare from some of his friends.
And I was roasting them, and they were like, "Oh, you think you're funny? Well, Dave Chappelle's coming to the new parish in 2 weeks. How about you open up for him?" And I'm like, "All right, whatever. It's nothing."
He took the stage that night at the club in Oakland, and it was a performance that changed his life.
It went great. It literally, I always say this, if it went bad, I wouldn't be here now. If it went bad, we wouldn't be doing this right now. The way I looked at it when they asked me to do it, it was like, either I'm gonna have a really dope story about the time I went up and bombed in front of Dave Chappelle, or I'm gonna start a path or journey in my life that I didn't know was possible.
But even after he won over Chappelle, his journey wasn't easy. Riggins had to put in the work, hitting what he calls the trenches.
I had to go from that to doing open mics with strangers and people that were hostile crowds and going through, writing jokes and not knowing how to write a joke and learning to write a joke and bombing.
But for Riggins, reaching his full potential on stage meant addressing his personal struggles with substance abuse.
I was doing comedy while I was addicted, and I thought I was fine. But it wasn't until I removed that addiction and I started seeing myself do comedy without it that I realized, wow, that's what was holding me back.
Riggins went to rehab and AA, and eventually the father of 2 teenage daughters was able to get clean.
California's so expensive that the eggs are at cocaine prices. Did you hear this, homie?
And sobriety set him up for a huge breakthrough. Last year, he won the prestigious San Francisco comedy competition.
It was one of those moments where, after years of doubting myself and doubting what I do and doubting if I'm doing the right thing, should I be here, it verified that I am that man. I am who I think I am. I didn't cry. I didn't have any, I was like, yeah, I won. I knew I was gonna win. But the emotional point hit me was when I texted my daughters and I said I won. And they said, duh, we knew you would. And it was just like, to know that somebody believes in you. They knew, they didn't have any doubt. They had no doubt that I was gonna win this. And for them to say that in that manner is just kind of like, it puts it all in perspective.
The win in San Francisco opened up so many doors. The 45-year-old landed a coveted job at the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, and this year headed out on a nationwide tour with Dave Chappelle, performing at packed arenas. There have been some surreal moments along the way.
And I'm sitting at a table with Dave Chappelle, Lorne Michaels, and J.J. Abrams, and Dave Chappelle is telling J.J. Abrams and Lorne Michaels, this is one of the funniest comedians in the country right now.
You're just pinching yourself in that moment?
I'm like, fam, I'm like, yo, am I sitting across from the guy that created Saturday Night Live, and he's not just listening, but he's talking to me. He's looking me in my eye, and he's hearing my story.
It's a story that's far from finished. Riggins feels like the possibilities for him are endless.
I think right now I have my goals set on television writing and ultimately Saturday Night Live is where I'm looking at. I'm gonna keep saying it, Lorne. I'm gonna keep saying. I told Lorne Michaels. I told him.
Lorne is a big KTVU fan.
Lorne, I know you watching. I know you out here in the Bay. No, I know. I told him. I said as I got it from the table, I said I'll be working here in 2 years.
I love it.
And he was like, okay. And
Speak it into existence.
yeah, that's what you got to do.
I almost got my ass whooped by Marshawn Lynch one night because I was at a comedy show and I said I was from Berkeley and he said, "Oh, you a Cal fan?" And I was about to answer yes, but my little punk ass friend jumped in and said, "Nah, he likes Stanford," and I was scared. But then I came with the most clever shit. I said, "I don't cheer for trees, I smoke them."
Riggins, who was born and raised in Berkeley, first learned what it was like to reach a wider audience when he landed at Youth Radio, a media training program for young people in the East Bay. That's where Chris and I first met as teenagers.
Youth Radio helped me, just learning how to talk on the air. You remember we used to learn that on KPFB and we had to learn to talk on the air. It was like, you learn that. And I see, look at you.
It's harder than it looks.
Look at you. I mean, like, they don't understand. Alex, we were like 12. Alex was 12 and we were all, I think, 14 and 16, and he was hanging out and he was learning this.
With
and
the crowd.
yeah, you were Ellen's baby. You were Ellen,
That's right.
Ellen O'Leary's baby, and we loved you.
We had a good old time.
And look at you now. It's like you followed that path. It gave you that courage and that confidence in yourself to do this, because even this is hard. Even though you can edit it and all this, people judge you. You know, people are on those comment boards saying mean stuff. Don't say mean stuff about Alex. If I see you on Facebook saying mean stuff about Alex, I will bring you to my show and roast your mom. No.
When I come out here to Menlo Park, I'm from Berkeley. See how safe y'all felt? See how more comfortable you are with me?
And wherever he goes, Riggins carries the Bay with him.
I go out somewhere and people come up to me. I'm not wearing an A's hat. I'm not wearing a Raiders hat. I'm not wearing that. You from the Bay, huh? And I'd be like, how you know? It's just how you do this, how you talk.
From his sets to his style.
The drip. Oh, the drip. You gotta have the drip.
I need to have sex with women who have sciatica. Because they like to take breaks.
Riggins has stayed true to who he is, and he's shining under the bright lights.
Hey, y'all, my name is Chris Riggins. Y'all have been amazing.
Alex Savage, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Appreciate y'all. Good night.